This video, showing the first ever perfect 10 in gymnastics at the 1976 Olympic Games in Montreal, has a peculiar connection to this video, showing a communist car that had its sights set on winning over the North American market in the 1980s with its low price and presumably affordable maintenance. Hi everyone and welcome to Motorheads. Stick around until the end and I'll show you how one of the biggest athletes of that era helped boost sales for this up-and-coming Eastern European car company and how, in the end, it all came crumbling down. It's 1976 and the young 14-year-old Nadia Comăneci is being hailed as the world's best gymnast after she was awarded the first ever perfect 10, a feat that nobody ever thought would be possible. And I mean nobody, not even the people at Omega, who was the traditional scoreboard manufacturer for the Olympics. They didn't even make scoreboards that read higher than 9 until then, which is why Nadia's score on the board was 1.00 instead of 10. Okay, but what does this...
She's Romanian. What am I going to talk to her about? Ceausescu? What?
...have to do with this?
The 1986 Dacia. The least expensive and the most featured front-wheel drive car in Canada. Visit your dealer and see for yourself. Velvet upholstered bucket seats, full component dashboard, optional 5-speed gear shift, front wheel disc brakes, and an exclusive 3-year or 80,000-kilometer guarantee. Test drive a true value. The 1986 Dacia.
Well, both Nadia Comăneci and Dacia were born in Romania, an Eastern European country that was under communist rule until 1989. And while Comăneci went on to become an international superstar, Dacia was, even until the year 2000, a relic of the past, relying on the ancient Renault 12 design that came to life at the end of the 60s. With that being said, it didn't stop it from trying to get into one of the biggest and most demanding car markets in the world. So, in 1982, 2 years after Renault stopped selling the 12 in Western Europe, Dacia set up shop in Montreal under a company called Terra Power and set its sight on selling between 5,000 and 10,000 cars every year. An easy feat, or so they thought. The thing is, the original Renault 12, which is basically the same car as the Dacia 1310, was received with good reviews in Europe and Australia, where it even won Wheels magazine's Car of the Year award in 1970. But in the United States, where Renault was selling the 12, it didn't really go so smooth. Road and Track was critical of the engine's obtrusive noise and called the heavy, non-power assisted steering a serious design flaw. As for the Dacia, it had problems of its own. The man put in charge of selling these communist cars in Canada said that during the mandatory safety test, the dummy put in the driver's seat flew out of the windshield, even though it was wearing the seatbelt. And as if this wasn't a clear sign of the poor quality of materials used to make the Dacia 1310, the first thing they did after this whole debacle was to change the windshields with stronger ones before sourcing better seatbelts from Sweden. One story says that a Canadian man who bought 2 Dacias had a lot of trouble in just a couple of months after buying them. Bad battery, bad windshield wiper motor, bad starter and bad light bulbs. Another story says that one man who bought a brand new car from Dacia in Canada had to go back to the dealer after just a couple of minutes because the car broke down on his way home. To his credit, the man who ran Dacia's business in Canada tried his best to repair all these problems and change bad parts with better ones before people got their hands on the cars. Eventually, he even developed a healthy dealer network with more than 20 locations across Canada. And here's where this picture and Nadia Comăneci come into play. It's 1983, a year after Dacia started setting its foot in Canada, and now it's ready to officially launch. So who better to promote the brand than world-famous Nadia, who was attending a gymnastics competition in Calgary. Even though the event was held in some sort of a garage, a lot of people attended and the press wrote lots and lots of articles about the newly introduced Romanian car brand and its association with Nadia Comăneci. Sales boomed, helped in part by some white lies, like the one that implied Nadia and the whole Romanian gymnastics team drove Dacias. The truth was, none of them probably ever set foot in a Dacia. There was a sedan, a wagon and a pickup on sale, and Canadians could choose between a 1.3 liter and a 1.4 liter engine. Things seemed to work out for the communists in Canada, but over time, bad review after bad review, and the eventual tightening of emission laws meant Dacia had to pull out of Canada completely in 1987. By then, it had sold just 4,500 cars, a far cry from the optimistic 10,000 per year communist leaders envisioned at the beginning of this whole story. Fast forward to 2020 and Dacia is now owned, ironically, by Renault. It makes low-cost cars that sell really well everywhere there's a Dacia showroom, and it's even going to sell one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest, electric cars in Europe starting in 2021. As for Dacia's adventure in North America, there's still a handful of enthusiasts that own and drive these old Romanian cars around, but there has never been an official presence since Terra Power shut its doors in '87. That's it for this episode. Head over to the comments section and let me know what you think. Did you like it? Would you like to see more videos like this one? And also don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. It really helps. Cheers!